Okay, let's take a look at this Bommer application in your custom lecturn installation. Basically, what we have here is a Bommer 1514. That's what this hinge is. It's a 1514. It's the smallest of their double-acting spring hinges. The 3029 series is substantially larger in the sense of things being wider, things being longer this way, and obviously handling a bigger door. The problem is this dimension is what I'm concerned with in terms of what the height is going to be from your surface, from your your center line as you're in your drawing, the center line of the bottom barrel to the top of your lectern or your table. That's a large dimension. The way that it functions, the way that it will move through its cycle, I don't really have any trouble with. I don't think you're going to need anything beyond the spring power to really keep the thing in line. Now, the only disadvantage, obviously, is you could take on your hinge side, you could force that down and damage the lectern, because your tabletop, you're going to put, if your hinge is over here and I push this down, that the thickness over here is really not going to prevent it from moving much. I'm not real confident that that's going to, that pushing it down is not going to be too much. I would be concerned about that panel's going to move. The top of the lectern is going to move a little bit. If your hinge is over here and I push down on it, it's going to move. It's going to move a little bit. It shouldn't move very much, though, because it's going to want to shoot that door back. The issue is that you need to be able to come here to a resting position, but you've got to come back a little bit in order to get the lectern table lifted up. You're lifting it up. That's in its resting position, but you're going to have to come past to be able to move it so that it rests. The stop that I was referring to, you'll notice this leaf moves. And I'm thinking if you were to weld a circular piece of material to the barrel out here, a crescent shaped piece at, whatever, 100-degree, so that in your mind's eye, imagine that barrel moving. That curved piece that was hanging out here is now hanging down here and making contact with whatever this is attached to. That's what I'm thinking on that. So the question really becomes is, what is that height on their smallest hinge? I'm thinking yet you're drawing 1 inch, but I'm not sure what the degree sign is referring to. Kind of held in the right situation. 2 3/4 inch, something like that. That's what it's going to be. As I stare at the drawing more and more and understanding how this hinge is going to work, being under spring tension, I think it's going to keep it in place. Forcing it to cave, I think it's going to move a little bit, but I don't think that'll be an epic problem. You will, if you will be able to move it back and then to get it shift down and then back in. It's going to have to go beyond. The hard stop that's back here, I think, is only a hard stop to prevent it from going very far. You're going to have to leave room to articulate. You're not going to be able to lift it out and then pivot it up only. I don't think that you'll have enough room from your ledge, from your shoulder, to get that up, down. I'm concerned with the picking up and making this happen. AutoCAD is not my strong suit whatsoever. So hopefully watching this articulate on this video, it would be better if my fingers weren't in it. They're inexpensive. I can't send you a sample. It's a piece of hardware. Now, the hold open we had discussed is basically the same hinge, except that it's got this extra feature. And what happens here is when there's a plate. Why not just show you the plate? This plate here, mounted on a cased opening frame. Well, the plate basically comes back over here and acts as a strike, so to speak, for this roller bearing. So I don't really see how you're going to get that installed, because that barrel would have to be on the top. No, it would never work because it's in the wrong orientation. Yeah, the hold open version will never work because literally the hold open is on the wrong barrel, because it's in the barrel that doesn't articulate. Okay, you need this over here to get it to articulate up, and then at that point it might be worth yeah, if Bommer could make this hinge in the reversed fashion, you might be able to have a vertical member here that the plate could attach to, so that when this articulated up, if this roller bearing was in this barrel and it mated, sorry. No, it's not going to work. This needs to compress. This needs to roll over that piece, and it's really all it's going to be doing is the bearing will come and make contact here, but it's not going to help you prevent it from moving as far as I can see. I think there's definitely, I think this dog might be able to place in this show, so to speak. He might have something with that, and I do think the hinge tension, hard stop to prevent it from going too far enough to allow it to be able to be put in position and then rested down. McMaster Carr, McMasterCarr. They're my favorite industrial website. They're Granger, but in my opinion, I like McMaster Carr better, because they're not, they're my U2 from 1983, not when my aunt started to like U2 in 1985. Then I couldn't stand their music anymore. I like McMaster Carr. You might be able to find componentry to add on to this hinge concept. Obviously, I think you're going to have to try it, and that's all there is to that. So hopefully this got you closer and not further away from a solution. Thank you.